Nice, isn't it? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome down to Down at the Boozer with RGM. My name's Colin Maloney, and it's my job to introduce you to people that are in and around the music industry and have some interesting chats. Do you want to pull that chair a little bit further forward there, Johnny, mate? So today, mate, we've got Jonny Brown from Twisted Wheel. How you doing, pal? You all right?
Very good, thank you.
Thanks for joining us. You've got an amazing career that I want to delve into a little bit, and you've just had some really exciting news that we've just put out on RGM last night that you're spotting Liam Gallagher in Europe, which you'll come to too.
Yes.
So you've had a really long career, and it's been a good one, eh? It's had its ups and downs as well.
Yeah. It's so much has happened over the years. So, but generally, it's been good. I can't complain.
Sure.
We've got the future's looking bright, which is the main thing.
Cool. So I just wanted to start. I can remember supporting Twisted Wheel back in, I think it was 2006. When did you start?
2007.
Was it? So
yeah.
It must have been 2007 at the Plug in the main stage in Sheffield. So it's not the first time I've met you. You probably won't remember the big stage in Plug back in the early days.
I can remember the gig. I think it would have been 2008 though. I would have.
Would it?
Yeah.
These years just I don't get what they are anymore. It's that far ago, isn't it? So yeah, maybe 2008 then. If with that, and you had a member with blonde hair, I remember at the time.
Yeah, Rick.
And you've had a few lineup changes over the years, but we'll get to all of that in a bit. Just hold your mic up a bit and just try to change. Nice one. Brilliant. So yeah, so tell us about the first time when you got the record deal and you were a signed band. What was that like back when it first happened the first time, Johnny, mate?
It was a dream come true.
Yeah.
I think at that when we were young, we thought that the be all and end all was getting a record deal, which is not really the case. It's where you go from there. But obviously it was a great thing to happen so early. We'd started the band up in a bedroom. I was in a band at the time called The Children, which was a great band and had a good following in Manchester, and we was doing some good stuff, but it just wasn't working. It was nothing sort of specific. But I had a load of songs, and I really wanted to get out and play them. So I started playing them for my mate Clarky he played drums, and we started practicing in this bedroom at his house. And then Rick came along, and within a few weeks we had a little set of songs, and we started doing some gigs. And me and Rick really we had a good few meetings, and we was like, right, we're gonna get a record deal, and this is what we're gonna do. Yeah. And we did it. We went out and we give CDs out at other people's gigs of our demo, with flyers in for our gig, and it wasn't long before we'd sold out Dry Bar and a few other shows, and the phone started ringing. Yeah. It was just like Island Records. Wow. Then it was Columbia, then Heavenly, Independiente. We was going out sort of rubbing shoulders with all these major record labels, and a few nights out, a lot of drinking involved, and then we had about 5 record deals offered to us.
So because that's like just unheard of these days, isn't it? So to get that much amount of interest. So did you use that experience? Did you I don't know? Did you try and like use them against each other type thing? Is that what that's what my mind would try to.
At the time we were just over the moon that we'd had all these offers, but then the solicitor they sort of told us how to play the game.
Yeah, sure.
So there was a bit of sort of to and fro going on. And we basically got the best deal we could. Cool. At the time, I was really up for it. I wanted to sign with Heavenly, just because I love Jeff Barrett's a top geezer, and I like the bands that they've signed. They're just a cool label. But at the time, I think they was owned by EMI. I don't know if they are now. And at the time, I think EMI was going through a load of trouble money-wise, so it just wasn't a safe place to go. Yeah. So we went with Columbia. Yeah. Also a great label with a great back catalogue. I got the full back catalogue of all the records they've released since the 60s, so I got all the Dylan albums and the Birds and stuff like that. But it was really sort of just an amazing time.
As a young lad at the time, how much was that to take in and to
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I mean, my head was all over the place.
Sure.
It was a really good time actually. Lots of meetings down in London.
Yeah.
Hotels, parties, penthouses. I remember Jeff Barrett at Heavenly got a penthouse in Manchester, and we just had a massive party. And then I went on holiday the next day. And I remember getting a bottle of champagne on the plane.
Okay.
I thought I'd made it.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, it was an amazing time. But yeah, I was quite lost. There was a lot going on.
Yeah, sure.
But yeah, we just saw we didn't want to get too detached from what we were actually doing in the first place, so we kept it real. You know. But yeah, and it sort of went from there basically.
Brilliant. So the first album happened. You signed the record deal, off on a European tour with Oasis. Jesus.
Yeah.
Gives a few stories just from and experiences from the tour and away with the Gallagher brothers. How did it work?
Noel saw us play. There was Channel Manchester.
Yeah.
We went on there, and we played. I think we did about 6 or 7 songs. And Noel saw it. We was in talks with Oasis's manager at the time, Marcus Russell, Ignition, and. Noel liked us and he asked us to go on tour. So,
any good stories from tour? Just like some.
I remember one night after Wembley, we played Wembley Arena, and Liam had disappeared. Noel invited me and my girlfriend back to, I think, one of his wife Sarah, one of her friends' house or something, and we went. I was sat. I think my girlfriend was sat on my knee, and Noel's missus was on his knee in the back of his Mercedes, and I got him to sing "Talk Tonight" to us.
Oh wow, okay.
Which was amazing.
Yeah,
obviously, like I was
one of my favourite songs from history. "Talk Tonight." Yeah, it's just a great tune.
Yeah, so that was just mind blowing. Liam, we had some escapades with Liam, especially in Europe. Yeah. I remember being in a bar with Liam. Noel put his card behind the bar, so it was free drinks. Yeah. Which I got in trouble for the next day. Apparently, I run up like $1,000 on my own drinking port. Okay. Said no to me. Yeah, I had strong words. Noel had strong words with me.
Is he a bit tight now?
Well, he put his card behind the bar.
Yeah, okay.
So, you know what I mean. There was a fair few of us there.
Right, yeah, fair enough.
I don't know him that well to know if he's tight. But I mean, you've got to be tight in some ways to be that successful, I suppose.
Well, yeah, sure.
But yeah, I think some of the best laughs we had were with Liam. And then there was other nights we was in the back of like Liam's private taxi, and we were all singing "We Are, We Are, We Are." The mods punching the roof in. The driver was just like, "What the fuck's going on?" And then I think that was in Milan. We went back to this hotel. It was just like full on. Yeah. You know, I remember Liam pulling out a big bottle of whiskey once, and he went, "Do you want a whiskey?" And I said, "Yeah." And he just filled this like pint glass up with whiskey. And he passed it me, and I just swigged it. And he was like, "Oh, I'll buzz off you." You know? So there was loads of good stuff happening. Yeah, sure. Yeah. And another time I was actually playing with Paul Weller. I was on stage with Paul Weller singing "That's Entertainment," and Liam was there watching. And I actually forgot the words because I was mind blown with where I was. You know, I just thought, this is like a dream come true. You know, yeah. So. Yeah, some good times, man.
Good times, right? So you've been on tour with Oasis, the album's happening, and then the record deal goes away. Just talk us through a little bit about that.
So we released the album, which it was nothing to do with the album sales. The album sold quite well. It was well received. We developed a pretty hardcore loyal fan base. Yeah. But with everything going on, with it being quite manic, and me, being very impulsive, and I needed to escape, and I guess I just sort of started experimenting with heavy drugs, and sadly, I became addicted to drugs pretty bad, and the label got wind of that. Yeah, there was pressuring us to send them our new songs for the second album. They'd actually bought us like a home studio to record in our practice room, so we had the Apple Mac, all the microphones, Pro Tools and all this stuff. Rick had actually had his car robbed and after it got nicked. I wasn't really writing or, up for practicing because I was wrapped up with all this, with all that drug stuff. So the label got wind of it, and we got a letter saying, we're going to you off, we're dropping you, which was quite hard to take at the time.
So is it an instant thing? Straight away, the money just goes. It's just that's it. Or is it a gradual thing?
Well, the way it worked was that we got to keep the album, so we could do what we want with the album.
Yeah.
And the money that we had and that we'd earned was our money.
Yeah.
And we didn't have to pay back. Basically, a record deal's a loan.
Yeah.
They give you all the money and you go and record.
So you didn't have to pay the loan back.
We didn't have to pay the loan back.
Yeah.
So I mean, things could have been a lot worse.
Sure.
We carried on gigging. Not long after that, I think Adam had already left. Or if he hadn't have left, Adam left the band, the drummer.
Yeah.
And not long after that, Rick went. Due to probably that happening and the way that I ended up. So. It sort of went quite dark after that, to be honest.